young woman you're about to meet is an entrepreneur and the author of the book, Let's Talk About Church, where she gives a candid look into the church, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Joining me via Skype is Nicole Robinson. Nicole, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Very good. Thank you so much for joining us. So let's talk about church. And forgive me, it's just ringing in my head. Let's talk about the church, Nicole. But now it's out. So your journey starts in Jamaica, in the West Indies.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about those early years and what the church was like for you in your younger days.
When I was younger, church was really good. I used to go to Sunday school. My grandmother and my mum, they were really proactive in the church. So for me, church was really exciting to go to on a Sunday. I couldn't wait to put on my pretty dress to go to church and to sing.
Okay, so then you do a journey to England to be with your mother, which must have been quite exciting for you. But then you're introduced to a whole new world of church that was so traumatic you had to write a book about it. Tell me about that experience.
So when my mum came to England and I came 6 months after, I was really excited. And then literally was in detention centre. And then when I was in detention centre, I said to God, if he get me out of here and give me my status in England, that I would serve him, and I was only 10 years old.
Now, a detention centre, Nicole, would be where you would be whilst your immigration status has been worked out.
Yes.
Okay. So at age of 10, you experienced that. You pray to God saying, if you get me out of here, I'll serve you. And then what happens?
And then he did. And then I kept my promise. I gave my life, got baptized at 10 years old. And then when I got baptized, that's when I started taking God really seriously. But then the things in church kind of shocked me, but I was still persistent to know about God. They would manipulate me saying that God said that my mum should kick me out the house, and just little things that they would do, and a pastor even throw me out of the church as well. And I was really heartbroken with all the stuff that's happening, and I was really shocked because church is where you're supposed to go and serve God and fellowship and feel loved, but I didn't.
So what was it that, I mean, it's clear you had some traumatic experience, and you talk a lot in the book about manipulation, about false prophecies, etc. What did you hope to achieve with the book, Let's Talk About the Church? Because for some people, they'll say, oh, you're washing dirty linen in public that should be private. But for you, it's about liberating people, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
What else was it that you were trying to achieve with the book?
My achievement was to encourage people that no matter what you experience in the church, that you should always have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ, because I didn't. And that's why I believed the full prophecy, and that's why I believed so much stuff that the pastors said to me, and it turned me away from God. But then when I realized that it's not God that's doing me these evil, it's the people that's using God's name, and then I decided to have a personal relationship with him, my life changed. And that's why I wrote this book, to encourage people to have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ.
And finally, for you, what would you say was the biggest part of your journey that made you turn from who you were to the person that you are now, that's wholeheartedly following Jesus?
When I went into that dark place where I didn't want to hear any gospel music, I didn't want to hear no preaching, I didn't want to hear nothing about God. And then I went into a nightclub with my friends. And then when I was in the nightclub, I was just crying. And I said to my friend that I'm not supposed to be here. I just can't fit in. And I ran out and I forgot my jacket. And I called her when I was on the bus and I said, could you get my jacket and bring it to my house tomorrow? And she said, yeah. And on the bus, I was just crying and I was saying, I said, the church destroyed me. The world don't want me. Where am I supposed to be? And I called my mum and I was telling my mum how I'm feeling. And she said, you need to get right with God. You need to know God for yourself.
Oh.
And I said to her, I just don't know how to do it anymore. And she said to me that you need to read Matthew and understand the journey of Jesus. And I said to her, I don't really want to do that right now. I'm not in the frame of mind to even want to pick up the Bible to read. And then eventually I started to read Matthew, started to understand the journey of Jesus, started to see that the way how the church portray him to be, he isn't. And then I started to say, oh my God, Jesus is so good. And I started to pray, fast. I gradually started to listen to gospel music, started to listen to T.D. Jakes preaching, Bishop Francis. And then gradually I felt like I'm reconnecting to God. And that's when I decided to just give my life back to him and just be sold out 100% to God.
Well, Nicole, thank you so much for sharing your journey with us. And we can read more about it in your book, Let's Talk About the Church. And Nicole Robinson, thank you for joining us on Turning Point International.
Thank you for having me.